Alright, in this video I want to show you how to stop a military canteen from leaking. I got two different kinds of canteens here, and one of them's leaking, one of them's not. I'm going to explain why pretty quick here. Alright, so look at this lip here. It's not smooth. That's basically why your canteen's going to leak. It's because the plastic isn't smooth. It's not making a proper contact with the cap here. That little ring you see down in there, that's going to touch this lip, and if it has to completely push down on it to keep the water from leaking out. This one is leaking, and I took sandpaper and sanded it down, and now you can see that ring right there. That lets me know this is making good contact with it. These are two pieces, by the way, okay? So if you look at both of these, this one's black, that one's green, but it doesn't matter. Different designs, you can see that's where it seamed together. With this one was just slightly higher than the other, so it was leaking out of that one side. So just sanding it down, it doesn't leak anymore. The cap, I can screw the cap on, have no problems with it leaking because the cap fully seals it. I went out and bought one of these rubber caps. You can get these too. These, I don't even know what these are called. I think they're supposed to hook up to a straw system, to where you can just put a straw like on your shoulder or on your vest or something without having to take your bottle out and unscrew the cap every time you want to get a drink of water. Problem with these though is that the rubber will eventually break down. I was getting rubber in my water, so I went ahead, switched back to the old cap, and found out that sandpaper, I got here some 400 grit sandpaper. You can use 500, maybe 600 if you want, but I like using 400. It just seems to work best with the plastic. Don't use this one as like 80 grit or something like that. It's way too hard. So I'm just going to take this out. You can't use a really hard sandpaper. Yeah, I don't want to be using that one. And then get yourself a flat object. If you don't have a sanding block, not one of those foam sanding blocks. If you have a hard plastic sanding block like this one, this is what you want to use. It needs to be perfectly flat. You do not want to just use your hand, because if you just use your hand's not going to evenly press down on the plastic. So as you can see here, we got some like rough buildup on there. It's not perfectly smooth. We're not getting that proper seal with a cap, and that's what's making it leak. So we're going to take our sandpaper, flat object, perfectly flat object. If you don't have a sanding block, that's fine. Just get something that's perfectly flat. And we're just going to press down, move it back and forth gently. You can move it in a circular motion, or just kind of move it back and forth like you're screwing on the cap to a flashlight or screwing in a light bulb or something like that. And as you can see, it's sanding down the height surfaces. You can see that surface there, that dark black, it has not touched that yet. That's because this white fuzzy stuff here, that's actually little bits of plastic that have gotten sanded off now. So we need to make it until we have that nice white kind of fuzzy look all around the entire cap. So we're just going to continue doing this, and it really doesn't take that long unless your water bottle's really messed up. These canteens are, they're pretty cheaply made. So if you buy one at a military surplus store, if you got it from offline and it's leaking, it's not because you got some sort of knockoff or something. These just do that. That's just a common problem with these. Alrighty. That looks pretty good. We still got unfortunately the camera does not really want to focus. Okay, that's better. Now the camera's focused. Now you can see that better. You see that one part down there at the bottom, right in here, is still a bit shiny. We'll go ahead and sand it a bit more, but that's pretty smooth. So, yeah, it's very easy. You do not want to use a really coarse sandpaper, because that'll tear up the plastic and just leave your plastic shavings all over your workbench. It's not gonna, or desk, or whatever you're doing this over. You don't want to make a mess per se. You don't want to completely shave off the entire top of your canteen. All you're looking to do is just smooth it down. And that's really why I like these circular back and forth motions as opposed to moving it in one direction, because I do not necessarily want to put linear lines going up and down. Water could seep through those lines. And that looks pretty good right there. It's still not quite touching that area, but but it does seem pretty flat. Alright, let's try that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the cap, and we're just going to screw the cap on real tight, get it nice and snug, back off, back on, nice and snug, back off, back on. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to put a line on the plastic, that little circular, what kind of looks like an O-ring. If we see that, we know we have a good full seal. If we see it on part of it and not the other part, it's a bad seal. So we can look, got a line there, it's going all the way around. Alrighty, that looks pretty good actually. Yeah. So I could probably go fill this up with water and put it upside down and show you guys that it's not leaking, but I already know from experience it's not going to leak. So that's all you got to do. It is very simple, very easy. Take yourself some sandpaper, a nice smooth sandpaper, and a flat object, sanding block, or whatever flat object you can get, maybe the back of your phone, I don't know, something. And just sand down the top of it until it's nice and smooth. And you can see the part that it's sanding is going to be this nice kind of brushed look to it. And any glossy part is going to be a part that it has not made contact with. And then once you put that cap back on, alrighty. Now, let's see if I can get the camera to focus in better. There you go. You can see that nice ring going all the way around there. It is that simple. Hope this helped. Do this to all your water bottles if you just buy them, or if they are leaking or whatever. I just do it to every single one of them just to prevent them from leaking, because these canteens are especially prone to doing that. And that is all. Hope this video helps you guys, and thanks for watching.